Okay, we're going to do some serious buzzing around here. I'm going to tell you all the holiday movies that open on Christmas Day, and I'm going to tell you two plays that are coming out as well. And all of this is on my website. You can always check it out. The two plays are a brand new one and a very old one. A Little Night Music opened. I actually saw it last Wednesday, a week ago, with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Angela Lansbury. It's based on. It's based basically on a Midsummer Night's Dream, and it's music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim. And this has been around for a while. I think he wrote this actually in the 80s, to be quite honest. And my understanding is this was originally supposed to be done with Vanessa Redgrave and Jolie Richardson before her untimely death. But Catherine Zeta-Jones, everybody knows as Michael Douglas's wife, and we know her from Chicago. But you have to remember, she actually got her start on the stage singing and dancing, and she's terrific here. She's really fun to watch. She's charismatic. It's very Dickens. This was something, as I said, I have never seen. This is the first time I'd ever seen it, and I don't love all of Stephen Sondheim, but he has such smart lyrics, and Send in the Clowns. How could you not love Send in the Clowns? I just thought this was a lovely experience, and Angela Lansbury is to the age where all she has to do is sort of wiggle onto the stage, and everybody goes, "Yay!" and justifiably so. I think if you live long enough, and of course she's an incredibly talented actress. I think she's won something like 5 Tonys or something like that, and will undoubtedly win a Tony for this one. She doesn't have much to do, but what she does, her timing is just impeccable. So this is a really, really fun experience. It's a little long. They say 2.5. It's a little longer than that. But Little Night Music is really a lovely experience. So I encourage you to go splurge and see Catherine Zeta-Jones and Angela Lansbury in it. It's also directed by Trevor Nunn, who has basically done mostly British stuff before, so Cats and stuff like that. So he knows his way around a musical, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had seen Altar Boys when it first opened 5 years ago. I saw it on opening night, and was just kind of blown away by. I actually have the album, and just really enjoyed its irreverency. 5 years is a long time in musical history theater, not to mention in the political climate in the United States. And what was kind of irreverent then is much darker now, of religion sort of poking in where it probably shouldn't be. So I really enjoyed this as much. I've actually seen it, I think, 3 times. It's closing, so you can get really good prices on tickets. Again, you can go to my website and get the details. I think it closes sometime in January. But if you haven't seen it, it's actually going to go on tour. It's worth seeing. The cast is not the original cast, but they're very talented. There are some differences between them and the originals, but it's kind of one of those shows that's a bit impervious to who the cast is. It's just plain good. It's funny. It's smart. It's actually written by the same guys who did Memphis. Completely different, and also by the same guys who did Toxic Avenger. So it's very good. Enjoyed the daylights out of it again on the website. Alrighty, movies. Now all of these movies that I'm about to review for you, I'm taking my papers apart so I don't rattle papers, open on Christmas Day. I will tell you the 5 movies that open on Christmas Day. Okay? Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Squeakquel, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Sherlock Holmes, It's Complicated, and Police Adjective. Let me do them in reverse order for no particular reason. Police Adjective is actually a very good, thought-provoking movie that will take you a while to get into. About, I think, the first at least 25 minutes, there's no dialogue. Think about that, a movie in which there's no dialogue. And you're thinking, not sure what's going on here. This is a very spare, kind of bare-bones drama that's very thought-provoking about a police officer in I think it's in Bulgaria, who decides he's not going to arrest a young man for offering drugs to his friends because drugs are about to be legalized. If you stick with this, it requires a little patience on your part, but it is a very good movie. Very thought-provoking. The end will make your stomach hurt. I will just tell you that up front, right? I hope I'm not giving away too much. It's Complicated. It's the opposite end of the spectrum. It's talk from the beginning. It's Meryl Streep, Steve Martin, and Alec Baldwin, about a couple who is divorced and gets back together on a drunken, well, I don't want to tell you too much about it. This is really Meryl Streep at her most glorious. I mean, I loved her in Julie and Julia, but I mean, in some ways, this is a much more fully realized portrait because she's playing probably Meryl Streep. It's directed by Nancy Meyers. It's a little bit chick flicky, but every guy that I know who's seen it has enjoyed it as well. And Alec Baldwin just steals the movie out from underneath everybody. He is so comfortable in his little chubby body and his little chubby, sexy self. I mean, and he's really a pleasure to watch. Steve Martin is a little weird in this one, to be quite honest, but it is a charming movie, and you will love every second of it. And for those of you who are not into things blowing up or foreign movies or animation, it's complicated, maybe exactly what you're looking for. Sherlock Holmes. We've seen the posters everywhere. We've got Robert Downey Jr., we've got Jude Law, we've got Rachel McAdams. Doesn't work at all. I'm so disappointed. This is kind of a combination. Basil Rathbone is going to be spinning in his grave. I mean, there is so little Sherlock Holmes in it. The deduction, it's also done by the guy who did, Guy Ritchie, who did Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. And it's got a lot of that technology in it. But what it does is it combines three things that don't really combine very well. He sort of plays Bond, James Bond, in London. He also plays Sherlock Holmes, Elementary, My Dear Watson, and he also plays kind of a hip, kind of almost video style thing, and I just don't think it worked. It's just trying to jam too much in, and everybody I know is really looking forward to it. Everybody loves Robert Downey Jr. these days, and this was really a disappointment. I don't know anybody who even semi-liked it. And Rachel McAdams is just badly miscast. She's a lovely young actress who just doesn't work in this at all. So, bummer about Sherlock Holmes. The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus you probably heard about mostly because what happened, this was because, I just forgot. Yes, Heath Ledger died when they were filming this. This so it was filled in by Colin Farrell, right? Colin Farrell. I don't have my notes right in front of me, which is kind of sloppy, isn't it? Yes, I do. It's filled in. It's Terry Gilliam, whom you know from the Pythons, and it's filled in with Christopher Plummer plays Dr. Parnassus. We've got Tom Waits in it. This was supposed to be, as I said, Heath Ledger. It's got Johnny Depp, Colin Farrell, and Jude Law filling in at various points. It works surprisingly well. I thought this is going to be really creepy when you take a lead actor who died and then you fill it in with three guys who don't really even particularly look like each other, although they do suggest each other in some ways. But I thought this was a little Terry Gilliam, either you love or you hate, and I loved Brazil. I think it's one of my all-time favorite movies. This is actually an interesting, imaginative movie. Does it completely work? Probably not. It gets a little complicated, a little confusing, but it's worth seeing. I would encourage you to go see it. Alvin and the Chipmunks, the sequel, probably exactly what you'd expect. I went grinding my teeth to see Alvin, but you kind of get carried away about it. The songs are great, and if you like chipmunks, and this one's got the Chipettes in it. I would have called them the Chippies, but we now have a girl group. This is better than I expected it to be. Is it terrific? No. Will your kids like it? Probably. There's better stuff around, but this is opening on Christmas Day and will probably do okay. But you know what? The movie to beat, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Avatar. And Avatar will continue to bring in huge amounts of money, and it should. And of the group, basically there's something for everyone. I would probably, if you're a movie fan, you're probably going to like the Imaginarium much better than you like Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes just doesn't work. It's complicated, it's chick flicky, but kind of fun for the adults. Police Adjective if you really love foreign films, and it's very smart, but it'll do just as well in January, and it'll do very well on DVD. Alvin and the Chipmunks for the kids, although there's better stuff for the kids. So enjoy your holiday movies. You can get all the details on my website, 800-544-7070. I'm Dr. Joy Brown.